Hey everyone, Joe Waxman here, the mediocre astrologer. Man, he's okay. What's up, everyone? Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're doing better than okay. In this video, I wanted to give you an update about my situation, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about my birth time, my birth chart, um, just for perfect transparency, but we'll get to that. First things first, thank you to everyone who reached out to me and booked a reading. And showed their support. It was really nice to see, um, all the various people who booked a reading for the first time and showed their support, and those who booked reading for the second time, even. Right. So I appreciate all of you guys. So thank you for that. That helps a lot. Um, as far as my situation, it really hinges on what can be done with my mom because that's the thing that's so hard for me, figuring out how to take care of her when she doesn't have any income or savings, and I'm barely making it on my own as it is. If it were not for her in the picture, things would certainly be a lot easier for me. I could definitely rent a room, be a lot cheaper, cut back on expenses. Uh, that wouldn't be so tough. Um, but having to support her, it's just come to the point where I can't, I just don't have the money for it. I wish I did. I just don't. I can't do it. So I'm trying to get her into a home, which I hate the idea of, but again, better than being out on the streets, right? I never liked the idea of putting old people in old age homes, but I mean, if it's possible to get her into one, for now, for the time being, until I can figure out something better, I think that's the best possible scenario. And I mean, she'll have company. It'll be an adventure for her. She'll be taken care of. But the thing is, like, I don't know if I can get her in. Like, I was talking to a lot of them. A lot of them don't have any capacity to take anyone, but the ones that do, they say they're not gonna, Medicaid won't cover her expenses unless she's sick, which seems kind of odd. It's like only if you're sick, can they take care of you. If you're broke and healthy, then you're on your own. You're out in the streets, right? Um, so the focus keeps just. I need a new camera. I hate how it unfocuses. Anyway, sorry. Um, so yeah, and so I called them up, and I'm still waiting to hear back from them. It's all these services like this, they're just not very prompt. Let's put it that way. They don't move very quickly. Um, so it's all up in the air. If I can't get her into a home, then it's just like, I mean, it's in God's hands. I don't know what to do. I will have to stay here and wait it out, and just, I don't know. Maybe even a face eviction. I hate the idea of that too, but like, what am I gonna do? Like, walk out in the street with my mom? That's just a nightmare. I mean, it really is. Like, I just, I can't even tell you how it makes me feel. Um, is I can't, I just can't, I don't know what to do. So I'm just waiting it out at this point, and hopefully things will work out. Miracle happens, something. If I could get her into home, I could go rent a room. I could rent a room for like $450. Big deal. I'll survive. It's like it's not that bad. Um, so yeah, I mean, ideally I won't have to be homeless, because I can make a little bit of money, enough to, you know, keep myself, put a roof over my head, whatever, in whatever capacity. But I don't know. So I'm just like at a loss right now as far as what's going to happen, how things are going to turn out. But I thought I'd share that with you. Nothing's really settled yet. It's not definite that I'm going to be out in the streets, you know. Um, um, right now. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Maybe it will. I don't know. I hope not. Um, there is a chance that my karma is such that I have to face eviction, because I know that at one point when I was younger, I did have to evict a family with a rental house that I was fortunate enough to have at that time. That's long since gone, and I hated doing it, but the woman, the family, the mother was working, so she could pay me, but she wasn't. And so eventually I had to evict them. I had no choice. So I don't know if it's karma for that, where I have to be evicted myself just to know how that feels, but we'll see how it goes. The other thing is, I'm going to share my screen, and I just want to. I know I've shared my birth chart before, and I realized that I haven't been. It's not that I haven't been honest about it; it just never came up. That I don't know the exact time, and I estimate it to be well because my mom told me, rough estimate, and so I deduced that it was definitely Scorpio based on everything I know about myself. Also, Uranus is I know it's very close to my ascendant because of the way my life has been, right? Um, but the exact degree of my ascendant, I'm not sure. So I've been rectifying it. I've been playing with it, and I moved it ahead a few minutes and 1 degree to 446 because that puts part of spirit in Leo, and I'll tell you why that makes more sense. Because if we look at zodiacal releasing, then October 2nd, 2022 would put me in a peak period for a lot of spirit. Versus where if it was in Cancer, based on the time periods, if you know anything about zodiacal releasing, it's the different time periods are vary in length. So it would have put me in Virgo right now, which is not a peak period, and it would have taken, something like 20 more years or something till I got to my peak period. And I don't think that's accurate based on the way things have been going for me. This does feel like a peak period right now because of my YouTube channel, of my astrology. Obviously, you know, not everything during a peak period in zodiacal releasing or in any period is going to be like it's not just about success. That's not what it means. It's a period of heightened activity for the person in their career. And so um, Scorpio being square to fortune is the way they measure it. The where your fortune is, then it's a measure between this part of spirit and part of fortune, right? You start out in part of spirit, and then you advance through the years, and then you get to whatever is square or angular to spirit. So for me, it is the actual angles because spirit is down here. So yeah, if I put it back like a few minutes, few degrees, or 1 degree, whatever, then spirit moves into Cancer, and that doesn't line up with my life's trajectory. So this is much more fitting for the way things seem to be going. So yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I just didn't want anyone to think like I have a perfectly timed birth chart. Because I don't. So just for whatever it's worth, not that it matters a whole lot, but just yeah. This does shift my MC to 11 degrees, so now Mars is closer to the MC or right on it, in fact. Um, and this feels accurate. Definitely I have a strong relationship with Uranus. I've always been like hyper rebellious, even compared to like anyone I know. Like I'm just the most rebellious person I know. Literally, like um it just it that's the way it is. And that's very Uranian. And then I've had like various accidents during my life, very shocking incidents, rather being hit by a train, the various physical accidents. Um, and this could be Mars and Saturn as well, but still, Uranus is plays into that, and my my need to be different, my need to be shocking and rebellious and Uranian has always been at the forefront of my life. Well, before I knew it, before I was well versed in astrology, even as a kid, I this was a very strong component for me, Uranus. So that's why I always knew that my ascendant was pretty close to Uranus, although I'm not exactly sure to the degree how close. But this makes a bit more sense. Um, if it was 1 or 2 degrees more, my ascendant, that would still work as far as spirit and proximity to Uranus, but to that extent, I don't know. But this is the closest rectification I can get to right now, to accurate. So that's if you see my chart and it's a little bit different than it was before, that's the reason why. Yeah, no big deal. Just wanted to share that. So anyway, guys, it's just a brief short video just to give you an update. Don't want to leave you hanging. Anyone who's concerned or, you know, watched my last video and is thinking about me, thank you so much. Appreciate all the support. And yeah, it's still undecided. We don't know how it's going to turn out, but and it's not an easy time for me. It's not easy every day knowing that what my options could be, eviction, homelessness with my mom. It's like daunting as hell and soul crushing, and just it's doing weird things to me, like internally. Like I don't know, like it's squeezing stuff out of me, like really bad stuff that I have to face. So I guess in that sense it's good because it's like cleaning me out. But very Saturnian, Saturn's like squeezing the shit out of me. So, yeah, fun times. So anyway, all right, guys, just a little update, and so that's it. I'll make another video soon. Hopefully more astrologically oriented. But yeah, mediocre astrologer signing off. Man, he's okay. All right, guys. Laugh it off, take a victory laugh, win before you win, all that good stuff. You know what to do. Hit that like button. Book a reading with me. For those of you who don't know how to book a reading with me, you just email me. It's really simple. I include my email under every video. Just email me. And those who are giving me advice, don't take this as an invitation to give me advice. I'm really not asking for advice, especially people who are like, telling me to do things that I've like either known about or been doing for like forever, like meditating, or like, somebody was like, oh, you can drive Uber. No, I can't drive Uber with my old beat up Subaru. Okay. I've known about Uber for a long time. You're not going to solve my problems after hearing about it for 1 second and you don't know anything about me. Like literally, I've been at this for over a decade, decades, trying to figure out, you know, how to make money. And I mean, it's obviously way more important to me than it is to you. So you're not going to figure it out. It's actually insulting, for you to just hear about it in 1 second, be like, I got it all figured out, Joe. You're here, just do this and this. I'm like, shut up. Like, no, you don't. And you're just insulting me because you don't know anything about me. So like, you're not going to figure it out. Don't give me advice because it's not, nobody's giving me good advice. It's just stupid stuff. Monetizing my channel is like produces like $10 and I can't even access it because you need a certain amount. So no, that's not the answer to my problems, right? So just show your support, but it's not an invitation to give me advice. Oh, I'm so good. I helped Joe. No, you didn't. You didn't. So you don't get to pat yourself on the back. That's not, if you want to help me, book a reading. That's the way to help me. So I'm not trying to be rude. It's just insulting when people are gives me advice that this is like the worst advice possible, and they think they're helping. I'm just like, no, you're not. You're just wasting both of our time and making me annoyed. So anyway, guys, just in general, it's a rude thing to do. Like when somebody's like, has a real problem and you don't know anything about them, and like 1 second you're like, I got it figured out. No, you don't. Like this person obviously has been giving endless amount of energy to try and solve their problems. You're not going to figure out in 1 fucking second with the most obvious stupid solution that anyone could think of. So anyway, it's a rude thing to do always. It's rude. So don't do it. So anyway, all right. Thanks, guys. That's it for now. Bye.